Hi, I'm Amy.
I'm Laura.
And we are
Two
Two Paper
Paper
Girls.
Today we're going to do our April wrap up. We read loads this month, so we're really excited to show you everything that we got round to. The first thing I read this month is This Savage Song by V.E. Schwab, which I've already spoke to our friend Leah about, and she's very happy because I'm like having a Schwablian year. I think I'm going to get round to most of her books this year. I wanted to get round to this because the sequel, Our Dark Duet, comes out next month, which I'm pretty sure it's just a duology. So that's really exciting. I cope better with duologies. But this was really, really good. I read this right at the start of the month, so it's a little bit hazy remembering my feelings, but I really, really enjoyed it. I think I gave it 4.5 stars, maybe 4. This was just really, really good. It felt really refreshing. The characters were really, really interesting, including all the side characters, but the two main ones were great, and there was no romance, which was really, really nice, because there easily could have been. And they even had like moments where I was like, I know there's no romance, but are they gonna like confess feelings? And they don't. So that was like, just felt really refreshing and nice. The world was a bit complicated to begin with, but from about 100 pages all that cleared up, and it was just really, really good. Really dark in places, like gross descriptions of bloody horrible things and monsters and stuff, but I like that, and so does V.E. Schwab, because that's in pretty much all of her books. And this was just really, really enjoyable. I loved it, and it was really exciting at the end, and I can't wait to read the sequel in June, July.
The first book that I finished in April was Queen of Shadows by Sarah J Maas, which I actually really enjoyed. The problems that I had with Heir of Fire was that I hated the Manon chapters, and then in this book there's a new character introduced in the Manon chapters who I actually really liked, and then Manon gets amalgamated into the world. All my favourite characters in this basically did what I kind of expected to happen, but again, the problems that I had with it was the way that they went about it. Their reactions were still a bit questionable, like they reacted in still a bit of a weird way that I wasn't expecting them to. But generally the plot was really engaging. The ending literally just made me like squeal every 5 minutes. My housemates were like, oh god, it's happening again. And I just think this was one of the best ones. I've heard bad things about Empire Storm though, so I'm not in a rush to get to it, especially because the next book's been pushed back till next year, which has made me sad because I don't really care about the
Kale book.
Yeah, the Kale book.
Like, why?
especially because I know what's just happened to Kale,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's not going to be an interesting read, actually. Like, nothing much is going to happen, so I don't really want to pick it up. But Queen of Shadows in general, I think gets about 4 stars.
The next book I finished this month is The Bronze Key by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black. This is the 3rd book in the Magisterium series, so I can't go into really plot details because there'll be spoilers, but I have such a weird love-hate relationship with this series. Like, in so many ways, it's middle grade, which isn't my favourite, and it has a lot of Harry Potter links, which in a way sort of makes it feel like a copy, but then also it twists, and it has all these twists and turns that I really don't expect, and it doesn't do things that I expect from middle grade books. Like, it has really dark moments, and there's always plot twists I don't see coming, and I'm really good at guessing where the story's going to go. So to be surprised by a middle grade is always really refreshing. But because they're really short, I just keep reading them because, it's only like 250 pages, why not? And this one was really good. I think it was my favourite of the series. And the ending was really exciting, and I'm really excited for the next one now. And luckily, because I've left this so long, it comes out in August, so I don't have to wait too long. But this is actually turning out to be a good solid series. It just takes a while to get into, but maybe if you're a fan of middle grade fantasy, it wouldn't even take you any time at all. But this is just a surprising one. It's not the best thing, and I'll probably forget the plot before I read the next one. But it's a good solid 3.5 stars, maybe edging a 4. I really like this one.
The next thing I read in April was Gone by Michael Grant, because he's got Monster coming out, which is a carry-on from this world, in October, and I think he is an absolute genius. Basically, Gone on a reread was incredible. I still loved it to pieces, even though I'm 21 now, and when I read this I was probably 13 to begin with, and everyone in this book is only 14, and it is kiddie. But the things I have to deal with are not kiddie, and I just absolutely adore this dystopian world. I absolutely love the characters. It's like coming back to my babies, and it's just the way that it just captures you. It's got so many characters in it as well, but I could list you every single one of them and what happens, and so much happens that I literally can't remember which book happens what. There's just so much that goes on, and I absolutely adore it. So this one gets 5 stars because it's one of my favourite series of all time.
The next book I finished this month was This Is Where It Ends by, I always forget her name, Marieke Niekamp. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. But this was Amy's choice for me, because if you don't know, each month we are now choosing a TBR book for each other as like a little challenge, and it's really cute. And she chose this for me because I was reading a lot of fantasy and it was like a nice contemporary break. And I had, again, mixed feelings about this one. It was really... No, I was about to say it's really exciting, but it sort of wasn't. That was kind of my problem. I expected it to be like a really heart-wrenching, really fast-paced read, because the whole book takes place over like 1 hour, so you would expect it to be really, really quick. But it was also like weirdly slow, and it did feel sort of dragged out. I felt like it could have been shorter, even though it's already not very long. But the good things, it had lots of like different perspectives, I think about 5 or 6. I really liked all the characters. There was like good diversity and they all felt like fully fledged out, which was really nice, and they all like interlinked with each other. So the characters were really, really good. But I think the worst thing was the writing. It wasn't like the worst written book I've ever read, but I don't know, it just, characters reacted weirdly to stuff, and things weren't described in a way to make you feel really tense or make you feel really sad like it could have been. So that was a bit disappointing. And then I did still enjoy it, but then the epilogue was also cheesy, and I'm like, how can you have a cheesy epilogue for a book about a school shooting? So that was just a bit strange. But overall it was a good book, and it's like obviously really relevant to now, and I feel like it's really unique. Like, I've never read anything like this before, so I gave it 3.5 stars.
The next book I read was A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas, because, I don't know if you know, but A Court of Wings and Ruin is out by now, and I want to read it so badly. I reread this just to make sure I was like in the zone, because a lot happens in A Court of Mist and Fury, and it's so political as well. Like, I don't want to put Laura off, because like, I want you to love this book. Yeah, I don't mean political as in boring. I just mean like there's so many like people and different motives, but everything's just so amazing, and just like I love the settings. I think this is the only book where I actually like dream of being in the setting that it's in. And yeah, I don't know what to say about this. It was a reread, and it got 5 stars the first time, and it gets 5 stars the second time.
And then I also picked up A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. I didn't intend to read this. I did all my TBR apart from Clockwork Princess, and I would have started that, but I was on holiday, finished This Is Where It Ends, and I had the audiobook for this, but I didn't have an I don't have an audiobook for Clockwork Princess, and I didn't have the physical book. So I was like planning of reading this month because of all the hype around the series and stuff, and I was just in the mood for it after seeing Beauty and the Beast as well. So I thought I'll just swap them over. So Clockwork Princess is happening next month, so I picked up this, and honestly I think I had really low expectations, because everyone says the first book's slow, it's not that good, it's a bit boring, it's problematic, and then the second one's great. But I really, really like this. Like, I gave it 5 stars because I was so pleasantly surprised. Like, I really expected to not like it. But I think the audiobook helped me not find it slow. Like, I was just really engaged with it the whole time. The ending, like the last 100 pages, was really good and really exciting. And I'm like so intrigued because everyone loves Rhysand, and I'm like, but he's so horrible in this. And you get a little bit of motive and explanation, but like you must get more because it's not satisfying in this. But it's just so much happened. My only problem with it was a little plot point at the very, very end, which I don't want to say because it's a spoilery, but something happens which just feels a little bit like overly convenient, and I asked Amy, she's like, yeah, you don't really get any more explanation for that. So I'm like, that feels like a bit of a cop-out that could have been done better. But that was my only problem with it. I thought it was absolutely great. I'm also not a massive Tamlin fan. I think that's because I know I'm not going to be in the next month, so I'm in the next book, so I'm like, there's no point getting invested. But yeah, I just really, really like this, and I was really shocked, and it was great.
Unfortunately, that's all I read this month, and I didn't read All My Friends Are Superheroes, which was Laura's TBR pick for me for the month, but I didn't read it because this is intended as a night of stress relieving, one night sitting read, and I haven't been stressed in April. I went on holiday. I basically took 4 weeks off and didn't do anything. But now we've got 3 weeks of hell where we're doing work every single day. So one night this is like getting read. So look out for it in the TBR. But that also brings us to our next point.
But yeah, we're going to have a lot less videos going up in May. Possibly only 3. We've got this, the TBR, and I've also got a book haul. We might have other ones, but at the minute that's all we've got planned because it's difficult to fit in filming when we're in the library 9 to 5. Like, we're doing this in the evening, as you can tell, because it's all dark and miserable. And you know, we've had long days, filming isn't really a priority, so we're going to be like commenting less, replying less, tweeting less, all that kind of stuff, but we're not going away. Like June we will be back, and then July it's a booktubeathon, and it's just great fun. So we just wanted to give you the heads up of why we're going to be a little bit sparse for the month. We're just really busy and really stressed, but from May the 24th we're done, so yeah.
So that's it for our April wrap up. Let us know the books you read in April down below, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye!